Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist Alfonso over here at Mental Matters. I have a brother who, whenever he sees a person acting out of what he considers the norm, he says, well, they must be bipolar. And I said, bro, not everybody is bipolar. And I have to explain to him what bipolar disorder looks like. And it dawned on me, since I explained it to him, let me go ahead and explain it to you also. Hold on, be right back. Everybody's bipolar. Go ahead and cue that intro. Hey everybody. So I wanted to give you some information about exactly what bipolar is. Now, please forgive me, even though as a licensed healthcare professional, it does make me a diagnostician. But when you don't do these diagnoses that often, sometimes the information is a little rusty. So I'm talking without any cue cards. I'm just kind of coming to you just from knowing what these disorders are. Whenever we look at bipolar disorder, first of all, let's describe what it is. Bipolar is exactly what the name denotes. You have poles, you have highs, and you have lows. Some people can go into the high highs, which is called mania, or the low lows, which is called depression. Some people kind of go in between those highs and those lows, and that's where we get more of the rapid cycling or the cyclothymia. Bipolar disorder as a diagnosis exists, and once again, I may have some of this wrong, but it exists in four forms. The worst or the most difficult to treat form of bipolar disorder is what we call schizoaffective disorder. And that's when an individual has symptoms of both schizophrenia or schizophrenia spectrum disorder and also bipolar disorder. Schizoaffective disorder can come in what's called or be diagnosed in what's called the bipolar subtype. So whenever we talk about subtypes, taking an illness like attention deficit disorder, it has a subtype of inattentive, hyperactive, or combined subtype where they're both inattentive and hyperactive. So bipolar, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar subtype is one form of bipolar disorder. The highest level of bipolar disorder that's not in context with schizophrenia is what we call bipolar 1 disorder. And bipolar 1 disorder, that person has a rise into mania. Manic episode is defined by, what do we call it, acts of indiscretion, where a person may meet somebody that they don't know and have sex with them. They can have a mortgage or rent due or a bill that's due, but they'll take that money and spend it. More often is characterized by at least a 7-day period of going with little to no sleep. When a person is in a manic phase, they are up all day and they are up all night. Now, your body needs that rest, and we know that sleep for the body helps it to recover and everything else. But when a person is in a manic episode, they lose the ability to go to sleep. And at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you may see them cook an 8-course meal, but there's nobody there to eat it. They can do things where I had a patient once in a manic episode just went and purchased a car. You often hear in mania what's called pressured speech. And that's when a person is talking really fast and very intense. So when a person has bipolar 1 disorder, they have at least one manic disorder where they have had that period of those symptoms for at least 7 days, or if the mania causes them to be hospitalized. And when you go to the hospital, it's for the purpose of stabilizing. So a person who gets hospitalized who's in a manic state, we look at it this way. If they weren't in a hospital where we use psychotropic medications to stabilize them, they would have reached that period of 7 days, or is prognosticated that they would have reached that period. So when an individual has bipolar 1 disorder, it lets you know that they have had at least one manic episode, but they don't have to have a depressed low that's really low, just having the manic episode and then coming back to what we call the baseline, how they are normally, or just below that, that is what characterizes bipolar 1 disorder. Now, bipolar 2 disorder, it's almost the exact opposite. In bipolar 2 disorder, they have what's called a hypomanic episode. And that's where they have a period of 3 to 5 days where they're not sleeping. They're having those same acts of indiscretion, the pressured speech, doing things like shopping and not paying their bills and things like that, using drugs, having sex with people that they just met on the street. But that period of time lasts for only about 3 to 5 days, but they do have a depressed episode. So once again, in the bipolar 1 disorder episode, they have to have at least one manic episode with a period of mania lasting at least 7 days, or which causes them to become hospitalized. In bipolar 2, they have a hypomanic episode. So bipolar 1, the mania is up here. Bipolar 2 is right here. Bipolar 1, the depression may just be how they are normally or just a little bit below that. Bipolar 2 is when they cycle down more into a depression where they may be feeling helpless, hopeless, worthless, overwhelmed, the things that come with depression, suicidal ideation, and things like that. But when they go to mania, it may not come above that in bipolar 2. So we have the bipolar 1 disorder characterized by at least one manic episode, and we have the bipolar 2 disorder characterized by hypomanic episode, but also depression. The baby of the three is what we call cyclothymic disorder. And that's when a person may kind of go up into that hypomania, but they're not there long. But then they'll cycle down into that depression, but they're not there long. So they'll go up, come back, go down, come back up. And they do that in rapid succession. A manic episode, as I said, hypomania lasts 3 days. Manic episode is at least 7 days. But in cyclothymic disorder, we can see a person who's ramping up into that hypomania. They may be there for a day or two, and then they go down to that depressed episode. So just to recap, with bipolar disorder, we have schizoaffective disorder, bipolar subtype, we have bipolar 1 disorder, we have bipolar 2 disorder, and we also have cyclothymic disorder. Now, all of these disorders can be treated with a class of medications called psychotropics, particularly mood stabilizers. So you may hear people say, oh, I'm on lithium or Depakote or something like that, but also now, what's commonly used to treat bipolar disorder are what's called second-generation atypical antipsychotics. So you may see somebody with bipolar disorder on a medication like Vraylar or Geodone or Rexulti, which were initially designed to treat individuals with schizophrenia, but they've now been indicated or approved to treat individuals who also have bipolar disorder. So if in fact you see somebody who's rapidly cycling, think, okay, maybe that's cyclothymic disorder. If you see them and they're talking really fast, like, oh my God, I have to get to the store so I can get something before the store closed, but before the store closed, I still have to go and get some gas. But if I go get some gas, then now I'm going to have to find somebody to keep the kids. If I can't find somebody to keep the kids, then so you hear them talking like that. It's what we call, as I said, the pressured speech. Now, in order to be diagnosed with any of these symptoms have to be present for a specified period of time. And that's where people like myself and other healthcare providers will look at what's called the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM. That's what we all use to diagnose psychiatric disorders. So once again, for my brother and for those of you who just want to give everybody a bipolar disorder diagnosis, no, if somebody's just having a bad day, let's say like me going through DC and getting one of those tickets, those moving violations for $100 for going a little bit over the speed limit, that makes me angry. But then I go home that night, like tonight, and my wife is making chicken piccata, then I'm feeling good. So at 4 o'clock paying the ticket, I'm upset, I'm down by 7 o'clock tonight. I'm eating that chicken piccata. I'm feeling good. It doesn't mean I have bipolar disorder. All that means is that life is lifing. Hey, you guys, if you enjoy the content that I'm bringing to you, please do me a favor, share this information with other people, share the channel. I try to bring content that's relevant, content that's not about having a moment that goes viral, but content that will not only help your life, but will also save your life. I tell folks sometimes, including somebody today that I saw, all this stuff on my wall is not there for decorations. It means that I put a lot of time and a lot of money, a lot of whole lot grinding it out so that I can be in a position to help you to know what's going on with you and to hopefully help other people. You guys do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. I also did a video, I'm going to put it over here, on what anxiety or generalized anxiety disorder looks like. I hope to see you back here. And if nobody else told you today, let me be the first to let you know I really do love you. And the last thing I'll say, like I always say, on purpose today, do something on purpose to help pick somebody else up. There is no greater experience you can have in life than knowing that you have helped somebody who can't do anything for you in return. Y'all be blessed.